And I feel lied to by the culture. But I'm gonna take full responsibility there, man. I fell for it. I fell for the boss bitch, the like, I could do everything by myself, that hyper independent. And I'm 31 now, and I still don't have kids. I still don't have a family. I was focused on trying to get after the bag and all this.
What's up, everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is C. Stop what you're doing right now. You know the deal. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. Let's keep blowing the C channel up. Let's get into this TikTok reaction. I just played you guys that clip. It is of a young woman essentially sad / disappointed because she fell for the whole feminist, boss babe, hyper independent, I can do it all, I don't need a man lies. So let's get into it. One thing that I always think about when I see videos like this, and you know, when I think of feminism and certain aspects of feminism, it doesn't make any sense to me because I consider myself a pretty logical guy, depending on which ex-girlfriend you ask. Just kidding. So regardless of what people may think or say, we're humans. We are mammals, and we're part of a human species which has been on Earth for thousands of years. And as humans, we have been living, take note and listen, we've been living in communities, families, and in groups, small groups, for thousands of years, right? It's only in first world affluent countries such as the US that people can do things like live by themselves, be rich enough that they really don't depend on other people, isolate themselves and just not depend on the help of other people and communities and groups, and not be part of a group. It's not something that I think is reasonable, you know, to expect people to do it all by themselves. I think that sometimes we forget that we're humans. Just going back to the whole, how have humans been doing things for thousands of years? You know, I think that and maybe it's ego, and maybe it's, you know, us thinking that we're better than just what we actually are. We're people, and you know, we've survived for thousands of years because we've been in tribes, families, close-knit groups, etc., etc. We're trying to break away from that, and I would argue that we're failing horribly. If you look at the statistics in the U.S., you know, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but anxiety rates are high, unaliving rates are high, depression rates are high. People are very dissatisfied with their life and the way things are at the moment in first world modern countries. And I say it's a result of just all this individualistic propaganda. Forget feminism, just individualistic propaganda, where people are fed and told the lies that you can do it all by yourself. You can be a boss, bitch. You don't need a man. Man, you don't need a woman. Like, this is all, it's at the core of it. It's teaching people to just be by themselves, but that is not how we have survived for thousands of years. So she says, I'm 31 with no kids and no family, and she really regrets it because for years she thought that she could do it all by herself, that she didn't need maybe a man, a partner, that she could just live this isolated life and not depend on anybody. I just want you guys to know this, that as a person who has lived by himself, ran my own online business, traveled, lived abroad, done the whole digital nomad thing, I value community and being part of a community and being part of something bigger, because even I've realized you can't do it all by yourself. That's delusional, and it's not possible. You do not get ahead doing things by yourself. I remember last year I was in Miami doing some networking, and I met a pretty successful guy who ran his own online business. And one of the things that he told me was the people around you are going to help you achieve your goals. It's not, and this is a successful remote business owner. It's not you. It's not you, just one person doing it all by yourself. It is impossible to do it all by yourself. It's ridiculous to think that you can do it all by yourself. But these are the lies that modern women are being fed. A lot of them are waking up. That's applause. That's great that these things are happening because it was only a matter of time, I say. Kevin Samuels, rest in peace, Big Kev, used to say you can only be a feminist in a first world country. And I agree. I'm a first generation immigrant. I'm Latino. And I always talk about how when you leave the US, men and women behave differently because most of the world is poor compared to the US. So people adopt more traditional gender roles. The men are masculine, the women are feminine. Can you get masculine women? Yes. Can you get feminine women? Yes. But I would argue for the most part, they're roughly what you would expect them to be. Not what you see here in the States where men are feminized and women are masculinized. I don't know. I just made that up. Let me know if I was right in saying masculinized. One thing that I think that's happening as a result of the current economic difficulty that we're all encountering and facing is, and I say we're in a recession, even though, it has not been officially declared, but I say we are. Gen Z is trying to return to more traditional gender norms. And I think that's fantastic. And I think that is great. And I think it's a result of inflation and all the other things that we're seeing right now that's happening in the US. So when things get tough, when things become more difficult in society, people are going to start to adopt more core traditional values and behaviors. Because when things are tough, you can't pull this I can do this all by myself. I'm a boss, bitch. I don't need a man. No, you need other people to survive. When did we think it was a good idea to just become independent, lonely people that don't need other people? When? I think it's an experiment. It was an experiment in human history. All this feminism stuff, and then all this individualistic propaganda, and all this stuff that you've been seeing in modern times. But I think we're gonna see an end of that because it's failing horribly, and the statistics do not lie. They don't lie. So that's one thing to keep in mind. All right. My name is C. I am your host. If you liked this video, you'll also like this other video up on the screen right now. Check it out. I will be back with more videos soon. I'll catch y'all soon.